Alright, so right here we're taking educating on the science project of Coach Stevens. You're working on a science project building a rocket in Coach Stevens' class. On Monday you will launch the rocket from a football field. The rocket will be launched at an initial velocity of 120 feet per second. The function r of x equals negative 16x squared plus 120x represents the height of the rocket r seconds after it is launched. You'll be using your table and your graph to answer the questions of the characteristics and key features. So let's first look at the domain. We know the domain goes from left to right, from negative infinity, so we'll label our graph infinity, then our point up here $25, and then let's label our points. We got 0, 0, negative infinity, and then we have over here 7.5 and 0. Notice that time in seconds is my x-axis and height and feet is my y-axis, and we have our table here and see our points that are on our calculator. First thing, what is our domain? So our domain will be from negative infinity to positive infinity because it never stops going left to right, and the function doesn't. Domain in respect to the content. If we look right here, the x-intercepts give us a good clue of what our domain for the content is, because the rocket is only going to go up and back down to the ground. So we know it's going to be from 0 to 7.5. Range from the content. Look right here, it goes from negative infinity at the bottom all the way up to the top of our highest maximum point of 225. So it'll be negative infinity to 225. Range in respect to the content. Well, we know we're not going to go negative infinity down, so we look back here and our range is going to be from 0 up to infinity. So we have from 0 up to 225. Alright, x-intercept meaning in respect to the content, so we have two x-intercepts. Our first one is 0, 0. Second one is 7.5 and 0. And if you look at your graph and see our x-intercepts, 0, 0, and 7.5, is where it crosses the x-axis at. And what does that mean in content? 0, 0 means the rocket is in the rocket has not been launched and has gone 0 feet is what 0, 0 means. 7.5 and 0, 7.5 seconds have passed and the rocket is back on the ground. What does a y-intercept mean? 0, 0 is our y-intercept. It means the same thing that our first x-intercept means, that the rocket has not been shot, so therefore it's still on the ground. There's our graph again and our table. Alright, it says interval of increase. So our interval of increase, you can see the graph is going up right here from left to right, and so that is from negative infinity to our point right here. This almost to 4, so 3.75. It's increasing to the maximum point. So our interval of increase is negative infinity to 3.75. Alright, our interval decrease starts where our interval increase left off at the maximum, where the maximum point is. So it'll be 3.75 to positive infinity. Go back to the graph. 3.75, we see it's decreasing to positive infinity. Is this relevant to content? And we know that it can't be, because interval of increase does not make sense, because you cannot have less than 0 seconds of the rocket flying, and the rocket will not be at negative feet. And then does the interval of decrease make sense? No, because the rocket will hit the ground after 7.5 seconds and not infinity. The relative maximum, look back at our graph, it's our maximum point here at 225. Our relative maximum is, and it is a maximum, not a minimum, because it's a peak, is at 3.75 to 225. Our maximum feet is at 225 feet. So it's the peak of the, I'm supposed to say rocket. Peak of the rocket. Alright, and then explain what 5/200 means. It means after 5 seconds, the rocket will be at 500 feet.